um, the main feature of human being is their creative ability. It's the only thing that distinguishes the human being from the animals, I would say, because animals are living the same way as they lived millions of years ago, not the human being. We are surrounded by everything that was created by us, not by nature. And this creativity is a mystery. And psychology has no real understanding and how could one create a new idea, really new idea, not to develop the previous one, not to make a small step, but something so unusual as, for example, to suggest that there is a gravity. Why Newton could imagine that there is something invisible that we don't feel? We don't feel. We see the subject that are falling to the earth, but it has no relation to the universal gravity that everybody's attracted to each other with this very specific law. So this creativity, as Einstein used to say, that all it's not just intellectual activity. It's something, as he said, that our moral views, our sense of beauty, and our religious instinct, all of that contribute to the highest intellectual achievement of human being. So, and exactly when scientists suggest a very new concept, it doesn't fit the logic of the previous picture of the world. And he should survive for a while to change all the surrounding, all the logic of science, to introduce a really new word of science into the text, into the natural logical text. And it takes some time. So, for example, when Einstein first came to the idea that the space is curved, nobody, by that time, he was a prominent scientist with a great achievement like a theory of relativity, an idea of the quantum photon or light, a quantum of lights. But when he suggested that the gravity should be described as a property of the curved space, none of his colleagues would take him seriously, even those who admired him, like Max Planck, for example. And it took for him about 8 years to develop his first idea, his first glimpse to the theory. And the theory predicted the phenomena that he wouldn't expect, like the perihelion of Mercury is very. He never thought about that, that opportunity to explain it. So the mysterious act of creation is based on all the spiritual forces, and as Einstein told that the new concept are free invention of human spirit, not human mind, not human reason, but human spirit, because they couldn't be logically deduced from some experiment. The experiment is great, and of course the science couldn't be without experiment, but experiments are not suggesting a new concept, new ideas. Ideas is born in the head, and the heart is helping to head very much, and that is what Einstein understood very well. And by the way, where it was when he was young, he studied and discussed with his friends works by David Hume, who was a skeptic, but he made, I would say, the greatest contribution into the explaining the necessity of religious thinking, because he discovered that you couldn't deduce the moral norms or moral ideas from the experience, from the objective scientific knowledge. No, and he discovered it for the first time in his, and so when Einstein told that only religious tradition could produce a human being, those basis for his aspirations. Knowledge is great, but the aspiration to gain knowledge, but the assurance that it could be possible, that is from somewhere other than the scientific knowledge. And it, in Einstein's words, it was only, as he put it, Jewish Christian religious tradition. Even if he was pretty skeptical about the traditional theological description of God. But I think the best way to express it, Jewish Christian tradition, as a biblical tradition, because it's the main source for him specifically. And he told that he see his feeling, his religious feeling in some of David's psalms and in some prophets' writing. So for him, and here maybe our listener and watcher are aware that he surprised his parents when he, being a child, he developed very profound religious feeling.